Hello, my name is Nicolas Cordova, and today we will be discussing the topic plagiarism. Plagiarism is something that students all over the world do in order to get better grades. They do it all the way from high school to college to universities. First, let's define what is plagiarism. Most simply, plagiarism is intellectual theft. Any use of another author's research, ideas, or languages without proper attribution may be considered plagiarism, because such definitions include many shades of accidental or intentional plagiarism. These need to be described more fully. There are several types of plagiarism. First exists complete plagiarism. This is the most obvious case. It's when a student submits as his or her own work an essay that has been written by someone else. Next is near complete plagiarism. It's when a student may also lift small portions of another text and use them in his or her own work. This one usually is a little harder to identify because they take just small ideas or phrases and they mix them in a big essay, big paragraph, so it's very hard to whether tell or not if it's plagiarism or not. Next, it's direct plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is the word-for-word transcription of a section of someone else's works without attribution and without quotation marks. Then it comes self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism occurs when a student submits his or her own previous works in another subject's homework or task without permission of all the professors that are involved. Also, there is mosaic plagiarism. It occurs when a student borrows phrases from a source without putting any quotation marks, or they find synonyms for the other's language while keeping to the same type and meaning of the original. It also exists accidental plagiarism. Accidental plagiarism occurs when a person neglects to cite their sources or intentional or unintentionally paraphrase a source by using similar words. There are many things why people do plagiarism. First is difficulty with the topic. When a student has no idea of what are they writing about, or they don't know how to do it or something like that, the first thing that comes to their minds is plagiarism, because it's easy. Second, it is poor time management. It's when a student tries to do a task at last minute, so the easiest way to do it and the fastest one is to plagiarism, to copy and paste something from Wikipedia or any other type of website where they can get information about the topic that they have to write about. Also, there is inadequate referencing skills. Is when they don't know how to quote or how to make reference to someone else's work. Also, it comes laziness, because the easiest way and the fastest one is to copy paste. So they are lazy and they, instead of investigate and do their job, they only plagiarize and copy another person's idea. Also, is the fear of failure. They think that if they don't plagiarize, they're going to fail because they don't trust in themselves and they don't think that they're capable of doing what they are assigned to do. Also, they think that nobody will find out, but nowadays it's very easy to identify plagiarism. A thing that professors or teachers do is they copy and paste what they think that it has been paraphrased or that has been copied, and they put it on Google and they can find the exact essay or the exact place that the student got that phrase from.
Hi, my name is Roberto Cheing and I'm going to tell you about how to avoid plagiarism. The first way to avoid plagiarism is one the students are pretty familiar with, the summary. The summary is a condensed version of the original text that highlights the main or the key ideas in your own words. So if you were going to summarize a chapter, it might be a page, and if you were going to summarize a paragraph, it might be a couple of lines. The second way to avoid plagiarism is with a paraphrase. A paraphrase is typically the same length as the original text but written in your own words, like a summary. So, a paraphrase of a page would be about a page. A paraphrase of a paragraph would be roughly the same length as the original paragraph. The real trick to paraphrasing is making sure you use your own words and not using the words from the original source. Even if you use your own words, if you obtain the information or ideas you're presenting from a source, you must document the source. It could be a book, a video, an image, or a website. The third way to avoid plagiarism is using quotation marks. A quote seems so easy because you merely take the original text, put it in quotation marks, and put it into your paper. Students tend to think that they should quote the most in the paper because it's the easiest and tends to make the paper longer, but by quoting someone, you are saying that the way the person wrote the text, him or herself, is so powerful and impactful that him or herself is so powerful and so impactful that if you were to rewrite it, it would lose its impact and value. You should actually quote the least. That means that if you put quotation marks around the text, it better be really powerful language. All these three ways of how to avoid plagiarism need a citation. If you borrow any ideas or language from someone or a text, you must include a citation. Here are some rules for a summary, paraphrase, and quote. First, introduce the author or original text. Second, include the summary, paraphrase, or quote, and cite the original source, and discuss the borrowed material and how it relates to the remainder of your point, paragraph, or paper. Writing with summary, paraphrase, and quote is a skill that requires practice and care to get it right. But remember, there are only these three ways to borrow outside sources, and each needs a citation. Here are some tips to make sure you are not plagiarizing. Give yourself enough time to research, write, and review the information. Take good notes of words, examples, author, sources, and where you found them. Write the sources for all the things that you are not on, like phrases, words, or images. Thank you.
Yeah, technology has altered many aspects of our lives, particularly the way we receive and process information. Literacy enabled the development of mass communication systems. The penny newspaper marked the onset of mass communication and was followed by numerous of types of media including radio and television. Recently, digital media has taken a prominent role in the dispersal of information. The World Wide Web gave us access to both historical and up-to-the-minute data and has revolutionized the way we think. Aside from the diversification of our communication systems, the World Wide Web is remediating our academic view of plagiarism. The world of education is changing. Entrance to university is becoming increasingly difficult. Students are faced with enormous international competition to enter undergraduate and graduate level programs, and the value of a degree and high grades is priceless. The advent of this cultural shift and the advancement of new technologies is changing the face of plagiarism. Years ago, when students used to plagiarize, they were required to complete a significant amount of reading and had to copy information by hand. In fact, they may have learned about their topic in the process. The World Wide Web has changed the plagiarism methodology. Many think of the internet as a public domain. What is there with it both free for taking factuality correct. This is not necessarily the case. Copyright is generally and mistakenly believed to not apply in the cyberspace. Take, for example, the issues faced by the entertainment and music industry, whose movies and songs are freely downloaded by internet users. Furthermore, many sites do not provide citations detailed and appear to unauthored, causing confusion to those who wish to cite them. Students merely browse to a website and copy and paste the material they desire to use directly into a document. With few clicks of a mouse, a paper is born.